What is going on, you guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your dunks, your pandas go from looking like this to looking like that. Look how much better they look. So this process is going to be extremely simple. You obviously need your shoes, some kind of surface you can put them on that you don't mind getting wet. And then the main thing here is going to be some kind of cleaner. In this case, I'm going to be using the Pink Miracle shoe cleaner. So we'll put that back there. Then you're just going to get a bottle of water, plain water. You can put your water in a bowl as well. It doesn't really matter. And then we got a little brush here. If you buy this off of Amazon using the link that I'm going to link in the description, it does come with a brush. I just have a color lock brush here. And then lastly, you just need a microfiber towel or some kind of rag that you don't mind getting dirty. Now, the very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to remove the shoelaces, and then we're going to stuff these shoes full of paper just to kind of like get this part kind of inflated here so it's not as bad. So let's get going with that and then come back to the video. So stuffing the shoes full of paper like this is basically just going to help keep the shape of the shoe and make it a little bit easier to clean. Next thing you want to do is you want to remove the shoelaces so we have better access to the tongue. Let's do that. If you have straight bar laces, then you might want to brush up on how to relace your shoes. These are just a simple crisscross pattern, so it's not going to be a big deal. Now that we got both of the shoelaces out, we'll put them to the side, and then you can take a better look at the tongue here. It's starting to get a little bit of wear and tear from the shoelaces as well. You see there. So now, the very first step that you're going to do here is you're going to spray down your water on your brush and kind of just soak it down a little bit. And then you can mist your shoes as well. Now this is extremely easy, like I said, it's not going to take us too long. And this stuff, it does go a long way, but what we're going to do is we're going to drop a few drops onto the brush and then scrub it down. So just a couple of drops, that's all you need. Then you're just going to work your way around the shoe by scrubbing like that, and you can see it starts to foam up right away. You don't need to go too aggressive with your brush here, just some minor scrubbing is all it should take. You scrub the tongue as well. Now this is a fabric material here, whereas this is like a more plastic vinyl material. It'll come off a lot easier here than it will here. Now for this part, since it's a little more on there, we're going to drop a few drops directly on there and then scrub it again. Now what this is this isn't dirt. More so it's the dye from the actual shoelaces that has gotten onto the white tongue here. So you may not be able to remove this permanently without actually having to get a little too aggressive with these shoes, but we don't need to do that here. It's going to get covered up anyway. So we're going to do what we can. Okay, now here's where your microfiber towel comes in. Now we're going to wipe away all the residue here and inspect to see if we need to do a second round. And already that's starting to look a lot better here. This shoe. Now that we kind of have the tops of the shoes done, we're just going to look over to see if there's any spots that we need to go over. And like here, we definitely could go over this spot one more time. So we're going to go a little bit more. Let's add a little bit. We're going to go heavier scrubbing in these areas here. Okay, now we're going to wipe it down. Okay, so now that we definitely have the tops clean, now we're going to clean the bottom here, and then we'll take all the rocks out using something like this, which is just a pick. Now we got it pretty much wiped down. We're going to do one final wipe down here, and that's it. Here you just want to do a final inspection to make sure that what you could have gotten off of the shoe has been removed. Again, you don't want to go overly aggressive either, because these are just painted. So if you just keep scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, eventually you'll just wear through it. So now, how these sit right now is pretty much where most people would leave it. They'd put the laces back in and call it a day, because this stuff does clean, and it does have some minor, very mild conditioners in it as well. So then you're going to get a nice surface, but I'm not really happy with that. We're going to give these about 10 minutes to dry, and then we're going to go and take it to the next step, and I'll show you exactly what that is when we come back. Now, if you want to take it one step further in terms of cleaning this sort of rubber part right here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's little bits of stuff that's in there. The best way to do that is to carefully use something like this as a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. And I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. Just take it, spray a bit of water on it. And I'm going to keep it kind of controlled. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to look for the spots that need to be done, like right here in the front. So if you look, and we're going to go carefully. This is abrasive, so you don't want to get it on this part. Just only on here. But this is going to make really quick work of those remaining scuffs that might be left on that rubberized part. Just again, be careful. Oh yeah, coming off real nice. Wipe it down. Sounds good. Now next one here, the same exact thing. Okay, so that Mr. Clean Magic Eraser just did the final touches there. And as you can see, that rubber band that kind of goes around that bar is now perfectly white. Okay, so Next step, put the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser away for now. We're going to give these shoes about 10 to 15 minutes here just to dry off. And the reason they're going to dry off is because in the next step, we're going to add some protection to the outside of the shoes, which is going to keep them looking cleaner for a lot longer. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so now these are completely clean and dry. So we're going to take them to the next level now by adding some protection. And that's going to be in the form of a ceramic coating, specifically the Art de Shine leather and plastic coat. This is a polysiloxane coating, and what it's going to do is it's going to be able to preserve the plastic and leather surfaces of the shoe and then basically protect them against water and the elements. It's going to make them super hydrophobic, which I'll be able to show you. Most importantly, your shoe is going to look great and it's just going to be protected, and you know that your shoes that cost you a lot of money are going to look good for a long time. So now let's get into this. Basically, you just need an applicator, and I'll show you exactly what to do next. So with this, we're going to have one clean microfiber towel handy, and that's just in case we get any high spots. High spots are basically spots where it looks like the coating or product that you're using went on a little darker. So slowly, lightly mix up the product. We're just going to add a few drops to the applicator here. To help it out a little bit. If you're going to use a product like this, make sure that you are working in a well-ventilated area or you have a face mask on. Okay, so that's about enough. Put the cap back on. And this product, by the way, I will link in the description below. So we'll start with this shoe, and I'll show you what it looks like as I apply this. So initially, it's going to start to look real glossy. And it's going to look like that until the product completely flashes and cures onto the surface. So just work it all the way around. You don't need to go on the fabric, just on this part. And all in all, we're going to end up going over the surface twice, so don't worry about it too much if you feel like you didn't get really good coverage here, because we will be going over everything again. Okay, so that's coated now. You do the exact same thing on the other shoe. We're going to add a bit more and go for round 2. Okay, now that we've had our shoes completely coated with the Art to Shine plastic and leather coating there, next thing what we're going to do is we're going to let these dry for 4 hours to they'll be dry to the touch. But after that, we're going to let them dry for another 7 days before exposing them to the elements. Now, you can skip that step that I just did, but that step is going to take these shoes to the very next level. Now, before you move on, inspect the shoe and kind of look around and make sure that everything's got a consistent look to it. If you see any spots that are overly shiny compared to anything else, make sure you use your microfiber towel to kind of level those down a little bit, and that's going to take away any of the high spots. But now we're just going to let the coating flash and cure. And this shininess that you have here, the slipperiness, it will dissipate after everything is cured. And what you're going to be left with is a nice, natural, dark finished look. And it's going to be super hydrophobic and extremely well protected for everyday use after that. So check it out. Next, we're going to take care of the shoelaces, which is extremely easy. I got 2 bowls here with a bit of warm water. To one, we're going to add some of the pink solution. You don't have to go crazy here, just add a little bit. That's pretty much good enough. Now, depending on how dirty your shoelaces are, you might want to just agitate them in the bowl, just like I'm doing here. And if they're really, really bad, leave them like this for just overnight, kind of in the bowl. Let them soak, let them kind of break down. In this case, these shoelaces obviously are black, so we don't need to go to that extent, but you can already see how much crap is coming out of these. Just gonna kind of agitate them, work them around with your finger, rub them against each other if you want. You can see. Now we're going to put them in the clean bowl and kind of rinse them out. You know you've done a good job when the clean water stays relatively clean like that. If your clean water is getting very dirty at this point, then you know that you have to repeat step 1. And all you do is squeeze it out. Check out how good these shoes are looking. These things look brand spanking new, and from a few feet away you would not even be able to tell that they've been worn before. The shoelaces came out awesome. The black vinyl or plastic leather here looks amazing, and these things again look brand spanking new. Everything we use is in the back there, the brush, the water bottle, the original pink wheel cleaner right there, and then the Art to Shine leather and plastic coat. We also use a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, but check out those. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and let's get some nice smooth B-roll going here now.